Peace, beautiful people. It's your girl, the real Tony Hickman, and I wanted to make a video today about love. And this was inspired by a friend of mine that I care about very deeply, and it was about the idea of unconditional love and how the majority of us actually end up loving with conditions. And in a way, like, I get why conditions are needed, but in that instance of acknowledging why conditions are needed, why does it have to be needed for the unconditional love? Because if we love a person, we should love them wholly, love them beyond their mistakes. I remember seeing something about an African proverb in some part of Africa, but when someone messed up in the village, all the children would come around and praise this person and tell them how wonderful they were and make them see, like, look, you don't have to be this way because you have all of these great qualities. And I can see how that concept would be very beneficial amongst so many people. But we judge so harshly, and we judge, and I'm talking about myself too. I'm not eliminating myself out of that concept. I think we all judge like that. We all tend to judge, but especially when we love people, we judge and love them under conditions. Now, I'm working on this, because now that I understand the concept, it's something that you have to learn to embrace. Like, my son can be the perfect being to me sometimes, and sometimes he gets on my nerves, right? But even though I may fuss, I may disagree, we may disagree, we still have unconditional love that is underneath all of that, right? And that's the same with my mother. That's the same with people that I love. Versus, like, when you deal with friendships or relationships, it changes a little bit, because if people keep pushing in conditions, and or people keep doing things that are disagreeable to how you think you should cooperate within that energy, then it's easy to pull away. And I've done that too. I've done that. And I still think that it's in a way, I think that it's okay to pull away if you find that this person's energy is not agreeable with yours, and there's no way it will ever be agreeable with yours. But when you pull away, it doesn't mean that you don't love that person. Like, I have people like that in my life too, that I love unconditionally, but I can't be around them 24/7 anymore. Like, I can't. And that's just the reality. It doesn't take away from who they are as people. It just changes the dynamic as far as me wanting to be in their presence. But it doesn't mean I don't love them unconditionally, because I mean, with the people that I have up here that I'm thinking about, I do. I love them unconditionally, and if they had to call me in a heartbeat, I don't care what I gotta do, I'm gonna be there. Because that's the clarity that I have in me. But I can't be around them every day, you know? And that's just me, you know? And that's okay. But I found also with mates, it might be a little bit more tricky, right? Because then, are we really loving with conditions? You have to treat me a certain way. You have to do this. You have to do that. And if you don't treat me this way, then yeah, I'm backing up out your life. But not only backing up out of your life, I am completely blocking you, getting your energy out of my life. And yeah, and that's that. And it could go both ways. You could be the toxic person that they think is toxic and they want you out of your life. And in some instances, I have been that person. I can think of one in particular, you know. But then it's been flip-flop. It's been another time that I was that person. I've been that person. I've been that person who had to push myself away more. And there was, so it was love with conditions. So yeah, I was saying how I have loved with conditions. And I'm not saying that's right, especially in my relationships with men. I'm not saying that's right. Maybe at the times when I choose to pull away because I want to protect myself is also the time that I need to analyze clearly and look at the situation as a whole. And I'm not saying to people who are out here being abused, misused, I'm not saying that you don't have a right to walk away. But in the process of walking away, and I'm asking y'all this because this is a subject that was brought up to me where it made me see the picture a different way. But in the process of walking away, do you also analyze like how you love this person, and you love this person, but you have stipulations on how you can give your love? And are you doing that? Because I have loved the person and I felt betrayed. And so in that instance, I completely cut them off. Like I didn't want to communicate. I didn't want to do nothing. And is that loving with conditions? And I think that conditions are, I think loving a person unconditionally can still be the same as what I said in my friendships. I'll still be there for you. But in my mate relationships, it hasn't been that way. I'll just be like, man, I ain't dealing with you, blah, blah, blah. And so it makes you question like the love, like is it really love? Or is there an infatuation or a concept that just binds you because you've shared fluids together and you're binded, but it's not completely in 100% love, unconditional love, because unconditional love means unconditional healing. Even if you have to step away, you step away with love. So I'm thinking about mate relationships. Maybe my friendships, even if I've been friends with somebody and I've separated myself, I still love them. I'm just, I still love them, but I just separate myself. But if they call and they need me, I'm there still. But in my mate relationships, sometimes I could just be like, man. So it's food for thought, man. Like I said, this person I care about, they brought that to my attention. I mean, this has been a while ago. But just thinking about that, and I'm gonna do a part 2 to this because the part 2 is gonna be on another level, on a whole nother level. So part 2 is coming up to this, but I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Please tune in to We The Cure Music. We have another single out called Pedal to the Metal. And yeah, that's what it is. I love you. Peace.